Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing another voiceover video. I've decided that for most of my bookish journal with me videos, I'm just going to do voiceover videos because I find it kind of fun to record voiceovers. Like I have my own little mini podcast, even though I would never actually start like a real podcast. Anyway, back to this journal with me. This is a journal spread for the Legend series by Marie Lu. It's one of my favorite series, and I read it when I was pretty young, probably in like sixth or seventh grade, and still I reread it every year just because it's that good. And I really do love her writing as well as her other series. So yeah, you're just gonna watch as I do the spreads for the first and second book, and I'm not sure if I show my spread for the third book at the end, but you'll see it in my journal flip through, so keep an eye out for that. Anyway, today we're gonna be going back into the questions from the ultimate book tag that I didn't finish last time, and then doing a different book tag after we're done with those. I just really like answering these questions, and basically what I'm saying is I like hearing myself talk. So yeah. Okay, so the last question we did last time was, when did you get into reading? And so honestly, my whole life I've always been a reader. Honestly, I can't remember a time when I didn't like to read. Um, I kind of remember in like kindergarten being in like the senior kindergarten reading group, even when I was in junior kindergarten. And that sounds like such a weird flex, but I just remember that very distinctly. So yeah, I was like reading chapter books back then. And honestly, I've just loved reading my whole life. So yeah, I honestly, oh, I keep saying honestly, but I just don't remember when I started liking reading. The second question I'm answering today is, what is your best school subject? I'm not sure why this is part of the ultimate book tag, but I would probably say my best school subject is math, possibly. Although this year, I don't know about that. But in previous years, I've done pretty well in math classes, and I would also say maybe. Actually, let's just go with math. I feel like a lot of the time I just think I'm like relatively good at subjects, but not really, I don't really excel at anyone in particular. You know what I mean? Okay, our next question is, what is your favorite classic book? I'm not a huge classic fan. Actually, I'm not really a classic fan at all, but I know that I've read Little Woman and Swiss Family Robinson, and I read those when I was young. Like, I remember my grandma had them in her little library, and I would read them whenever I went over to her house. But other than that, I can't really remember any other classics that I've read. I mean, I'm sure I have, but honestly, it was probably a while ago, so it's not really that memorable. I did enjoy Little Woman, but I think that my favorite out of the two was probably Swiss Family Robinson. I just thought it was really interesting. So, yeah. I haven't read that in a while. Maybe I should reread it. Okay, next question is vampires or fairies. And for this, I would 100% pick fairies because fairies have powers. Actually, what's the difference between fae and fairies? Like, I know Sarah J. Maas says fae, but is that really essentially the same thing as fairies? I guess not, because fairies have like wings. But I just think fairies are cooler in general, and they have like, and they're pretty. Vampires are like scary. I don't want to deal with that. And like blood? No, thank you. Anyway, our next question is shapeshifters or angels? I don't really have a preference for this one. I haven't read many books about like focus mainly on. Well, I guess Shadowhunters is kind of focused on angels, but not really. They don't like the angels aren't really a big part of it. And oh, actually, now I think about it, the book Daughter of Smoke and Bone features angels, and I really like that series. But if I think about shapeshifters, I'm thinking a little bit about Throne of Glass. And if you listen to my other journal with me, you know that I love Throne of Glass. Okay, I'm not picking for this one because I don't really know. Okay, next question is spirits or werewolves. For this, I guess I would say werewolves because I'm really not into ghosts. That's kind of spooky, and I feel like between the two, the thing that could actually happen to me or I could like see in real life is spirits, and I don't want to deal with that. So if I'm reading about something, I want it to be something that could never happen, so I don't have to picture it in my head actually happening to me. So werewolves. Also, I remember reading, oh, what's the series called? Darkest Powers. Like I can't even remember the name of the books. I just know what it looks like. Oh, I know. The last book is called The Reckoning. But I don't remember the first two books. Anyway, I read that series in elementary school and it featured a werewolf and I really like that series. I don't like it anymore because I think the writing's kind of eh, but I did like it back then. And another question is zombies or vampires? Oh, vampires again. But for this, 100% vampires. I hate zombies. Zombies are so disgusting. They're so creepy and so gross. Like I just like vampires and blood is one thing, but like dead flesh, that's disgusting. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry if that sound literally made you gag too. Like, oh my gosh, that's so gross. I can't even think about it. Zombies? Who picks zombies? That's so scary. Okay, next question is love triangle or forbidden love. And okay, I think I mentioned this in one of my other voiceover videos, but I do think that love triangles can get so cheesy, so it's kind of annoying. Although, like I said, one of my favorite series, The Infernal Devices, has a love triangle, which I love. But forbidden love, I think I would pick forbidden love because it just gives it kind of like a more interesting aspect, and it's kind of like they sneak around, and that's kind of ooh. Okay, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Okay, moving on to the next question, romance or action. And for this, I would definitely say romance. Honestly, I haven't read many action books. Like, I've read fantasy books, but I don't really know if those qualify as action. But I've been reading so much romance lately, and it's literally like a drug. I just can't stop. Everything, like, I just keep reading and reading. And yeah, okay, definitely romance. Now, we're going to move on to the next set of questions I have. So, I found these questions on a blog called Addictively Turning Pages, and it's just a bunch of this or that questions, so we're just going to get right into them. So, the first question is reading on your couch or your bed. And for this, 100% my bed. I don't really read like in my living room just because like people are always watching TV in there, and I don't really like having noise when I'm reading. So, definitely my bed. The next question is do you prefer your main character to be male or female? And like not that I really care if it's male or female, but I've read more books with a female main character, so I'm kind of used to it. And what kind of books have I read? Oh, I've read the Maze Runner and the Lorien Legacy series, and those have main female characters. Actually, I mean not main, male main characters. That's what I meant. But actually, now that I think about it, I do really like books where they alternate between points of view between like the main female character and the main male character. So both. But actually, okay, fine. I prefer female. Okay, we're going with that. The next question is do you like sweet or salty snacks while you read? Um, Also, I don't know if you can hear my laptop overheating, but it's overheating. So I'm going to try to talk a little louder so that you can still hear what I'm saying. But anyway, I definitely prefer salty snacks when I'm reading, which is actually kind of strange. I never really thought about it until I got this question. I was writing it down in my journal so I could answer it. But like, I definitely prefer to eat something salty while I'm reading, and I'm honestly not sure why. Maybe it's because like sweet things can get like sticky easily, and then I don't want my book to be sticky. Okay. The next question number 4, is do you prefer trilogies or quartets? And between these two, I honestly don't really have a big preference. There was a similar question in the past where it was like, oh, what was that question? It was like, what's what kind of like how many books is too many or something like that. And I did say I prefer trilogies, but I don't really mind quartets either. Like 3 to 4 books doesn't really make that big of a difference to me, so I don't really mind. And the next question is do you prefer first or third person point of view? And for this question, I also don't have a preference. I don't mind reading in either, so yeah. Question number 6 is are you a night or morning reader? And for this question, I'm definitely a night reader. Honestly, I'm not even a morning person in general. Like if I have to wake up early in the morning, I'm waking up as late as I can, so I don't have to like so I'll wake up as late as I can. So the only thing I have to do is get ready and leave the house. Like I don't mark out time in my morning to do other things other than get ready. So definitely a night reader. I think reading at night is kind of fun, and like I like to light a candle, especially during fall and winter, and it's just time to like relax at the end of the day. My next question is do you prefer going to the library or the bookstore? I've definitely mentioned this before, but I'm a huge library person. Obviously, right now the library is closed, so I can't really go, and I've just been reading a lot online. And I do have a lot of my own books, so I do go to the bookstore. Although, honestly, bookstores are kind of overpriced, so I guess library because it's free. It's free. How can you beat free books? Okay, question number 8 is do you prefer books that make you laugh or cry? For this, I would definitely say books that make me cry. I'm a huge sucker for books that make me cry and books that are sad. And when people die in books, oh my gosh, that's the saddest thing ever. I literally start sobbing in my bed. It's kind of embarrassing sometimes. And honestly, I don't really laugh a lot when I read books. Like, that sounds kind of like sad, but like, it's just that whenever I read, if I find something funny, I don't really laugh out loud. So, definitely books that make me cry. And the last question we're going to go for today is black or white book covers. I think I would say that I prefer, actually, I don't really care. I really don't care. I have a lot of black books and a lot of white books. And they, honestly, as long as the cover is pretty, I don't care what color it is. Actually, we're just going to do one more question. Do you prefer a character driven book or a plot driven book? And for this, 100%, I would say a plot driven book. If the plot is boring, I will not be able to get through it. Like, obviously, I'll force myself to read it because, like I mentioned before, I never DNF a book. But, like, obviously I appreciate a good character, but when it comes to me being interested in a book, it definitely has to have a good plot. Without a plot, there's no point in me reading it. So I got through all those this or that questions, so that's all I have for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Wow, I feel like a real YouTuber. And keep an eye out for my next video.